Despite this teaser saying that FNAF 2 was coming out in 2015, it released 2 months earlier in November, and to say that this game shook what everyone knew of the series would be an understatement. With a total of 11 new animatronics to defend yourself against, the introduction of more lore through new minigames and cutscenes, and new mechanics, there's a lot to discuss here. FNAF 2 has the player assume the role of Jeremy Fitzgerald, working a summer job at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. One thing that veteran FNAF 1 players, when they first played this game, will be taken aback by is that Phone Guy is still alive here.
Hello? Hello? Well, if you're hearing this, then chances are you've made a very poor career choice.
And is still assuming the role of our source of exposition and how the mechanics of the game will work. The big difference here is the absence of the doors, something that even the teaser trailer brought up, which was the primary defense against the animatronics. Instead, your main methods of defense consist of a flashlight, an empty Freddy Fazbear head, and a music box in the prize corner. The animatronics have the ability to enter the office via either the vents located to your left and right, or through the giant gaping void of darkness that is the hallway. Each of the 11 animatronics has their own movement patterns, but once you get used to them, you can predict how they will work, albeit with a few exceptions. The best way to break this down would be to divide the animatronics up based on how you stop them: mask animatronics and special animatronics. Mask animatronics consist of Withered Freddy, Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, and Toy Chica. If these guys show up in your office, simply put on the mask to trick them into thinking that you're an empty costume, and they'll go away. However, the problem here is how smaller and smaller the window gets as the nights progress to put on the mask, which could lead to unfair deaths.
Hey! Whoa! 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 You got me! Oh God! I was lightning fast!
Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica will appear in the vents, and you can see them by turning on the vent lights. If they're there, put on the mask. And while Toy Chica leaves faster, Toy Bonnie has a special animation where he slides into view in front of you, which is pretty creepy with his pupils dilated like that.
What the fuck?
Which has led deaths in the hardest difficulty mode, which I'll bring up later. Their Withered counterparts also appear in the vents, but unlike the toys, Withered Bonnie and Withered Chica will appear right in front of the player, meaning that you need to be quick to put on the mask and pray to the RNG gods that you are fast enough to do it to avoid a jump scare. Toy Freddy and Withered Freddy will appear in the hallway, and will work their way towards you before showing up in front of you like Withered Bonnie and Chica. Put on the mask and you'll be safe. Now, we have the special animatronics, the characters that follow different rules to defend yourself against. The first character is Foxy, who isn't fooled by the mask. Instead, you need to use the flashlight to disorient him when he appears in the hallway. The Wither animatronics themselves don't start attacking until night 2, so be ready for that. Phone Guy actually brings up how Foxy was his favorite, which could be a nod to how in FNAF 1, Foxy was the fan favorite in the FNAF community. Anyway, you need to repeatedly flash the light at Foxy like a rave party until he leaves. Keep an eye on the flashlight life though, because once that goes out, Foxy could end your run. Another difference here in FNAF 2, and what Phone Guy brings up, is that while the flashlight can run out of battery, the building won't, unlike FNAF 1. Foxy also works as a great, or should I say terrible combination for the player with the next animatronic, Balloon Boy. Everybody's favorite. Balloon Boy, surprisingly, is the only character that Phone Guy never brings up in the phone calls, making him a terrifying surprise in the game once he is shown in the vents, working his way towards the player. To defend yourself, once he shows up in the left vent, put on the mask until he goes away. If you're playing this game with a headset or with the volume up, there are sound cues that you can use to track him.
Hello? Hi.
Oh, and you'll know once he gets inside your office. Balloon Boy is also the first animatronic in the series to like a jump scare. Instead, he does this.
Hello?
1, 2, 3.
Nah, I'm joking. Can you imagine though? Maybe he would be a real fan favorite. Instead, he disables your flashlight, meaning you can't use it to shine light into the hallway, and accompanied with his annoying laugh. This means the player can do is just sit there and accept their fate at the hands of Foxy. Like I said, they make a horrible combination. So, for the sake of your runs, do not let BB into your office. The next character on the list is Mangle, another fan favorite, this one being an actual fan favorite, mind you. Interestingly enough, according to Scott, one of the biggest online debates in the FNAF community at the time was Mangle's gender. His response to this was yes. Anyways, Mangle will use both methods to get into the office, whether it be through the hallway or through the right air vent. If Mangle appears in the hallway, shine your flashlight at him like Foxy until she disappears. However, if he appears in the vents and on the mask, failure to do either of these will result in seeing Mangle dangling from the ceiling, mouth open ready to attack at any moment. Start praying that she doesn't swoop down to end your run when at 5 AM and the clock is about to turn over to 6. The second to last special animatronic character on this list is Golden Freddy, this time being an actual animatronic that will appear in Night 6 instead of just being an Easter egg. Unlike his FNAF 1 iteration, Golden Freddy has a jump scare that results in a normal game over screen instead of the game crashing. Just like Mangle, you need to pay attention to where he appears. If you see Golden Freddy suddenly appear slumped over in your office, quickly put on the Freddy mask to make him disappear. But if you see his disembodied head in the hallway, quickly shut out the flashlight to prevent him from attacking. The last character on this list of special animatronics, and one of my personal favorites regarding their lore, is the puppet. This Slender Man-looking marionette sits in the giant prize box in the prize corner, and it serves as the reason as to why the player would need to make themselves vulnerable to wind up the music box remotely from their monitor. The player can keep track if the music box is about to end by the flashing warning symbol that would appear in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. If the music box is done playing, the puppet will escape and begin playing Pop Goes the Weasel as it rushes toward the office. Once this happens, there will be no way to stop the puppet from attacking and ending your run. Safe to say, follow Phone Guy's advice.
One more thing. Don't forget the music box. I'll be honest, I never liked that puppet thing. It's always thinking, and it can go anywhere. I don't think the Freddy mask will fool it, so just don't forget the music box.
There are also secret animatronics like Shadow Freddy and Bonnie that will appear at random. Staring at them for too long will actually crash the game. JJ, a recolor of Balloon Boy, will appear at the bottom of your desk at occasion, but won't do anything. Also, there's this endoskeleton that will appear in both the prize corner and in the vents. While it won't attack you, it's still really cool to see. YouTuber Dawko actually started gaining a following since he was able to get them to appear in his game on camera, proving that this Easter egg was legit.
Oh, what the f***?
But yeah, that's all the characters. So now, let's talk about the story. Phone Guy on Night 1 explains to Jeremy, and by extension us as the players, that these animatronics were equipped with special facial recognition software, allowing them to detect predators a mile away. But this game with a problem, wherein the previous night guard that worked at this location noted that certain characters seemed to wander and enter his office. Well, Phone Guy dismisses this as a sort of glitch, wherein the animatronics believe that they're in the wrong room, so they decide to go find where the people are, and in this case, it's the office. However, this is just a load of baloney, since no party entertaining robot animal went into a room full of people like this. Or, oh, I don't know, crawl through air vents through the party rooms? On Night 2, Phone Guy explains the Wither animatronics, reminiscing about Foxy, and explaining how to stop them, which we discussed already, as well as the importance of keeping the music box wound up to avoid getting attacked by the puppet. Night 3 is where things begin to change, wherein he brings up Mangle and how he used to be the toy version of Foxy. But since kids these days can't keep their hands to themselves and constantly just took her apart every day, forcing the employees to work overtime to repair him, they just left her as some sort of take apart and put back together attraction, and refer to him as the Mangle. I mean... yeah, that's a fitting name. Also, he tells us that there are rumors going around related to the restaurant, and just to ignore them, stating that's just people trying to make a quick buck with all these false stories. Night 4, however, things start getting a bit concerning, when Phone Guy brings up a sort of investigation going on regarding the behavior of the animatronics during the day, stating that while they interact with the kids fine, whenever they see an adult, they just stare. He also explains that there has been a theory going around that someone may have tampered with the animatronics' facial recognition software, but as far as we know now, that may not be the case. And in Night 5, the building has been placed on lockdown, meaning no one is allowed in or out, and that Jeremy may be moved to day shift, since the position just became available. This is also the moment where we're introduced to the location named Fredbear's Family Diner, the original restaurant, but it's been closed for years. And the reason why is that they've been trying to contact the owner of this original restaurant, but with no success. And lastly, on Night 6, we have Phone Guy telling us this.
Hello. What on earth are you doing there? Didn't you get the memo? The place is closed down, at least for a while. Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it. Now none of them are acting right. Listen, just finish your shift. It's safer than trying to leave in the middle of the night. We have one more event scheduled for tomorrow, a birthday. You'll be on day shift. wear your uniform, stay close to the animatronics, and make sure they don't hurt anyone, okay? For now, just make it through the night. When the place eventually opens again, I'll probably take the night shift myself. Okay, good night, and good luck.
It is a prequel! Oh my god!
This was the game changer. FNAF 2 is actually a prequel, not a sequel to the original FNAF 1. This explains why Phone Guy is still alive. He is going to take the night shift when the new restaurant opens up again in FNAF 1, where it would be his untimely end. This also explains why the Wither versions of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy look vastly different from their FNAF 1 forms. They're older models. Literally! Upon completing the 5th night, that's where we learn the name of the night guard is Jeremy Fitzgerald, and we get paid $100.50. But the real kicker here is the date, 1987.
Was that the bite of 87?
It is implied that this game was the one that had the infamous bite that resulted in the removal of the frontal lobe of an unknown individual and resulted in the animatronics being stationary during the day. Upon returning to the main menu, you get 1 star, and by being the 6th night, the amount on the check reads an extra $20 for overtime. And this is on top of a newspaper article that states that this location is going to close down, and that the toy animatronics are to be scrapped due to possible malfunctions, while the withers are kept and remodeled for the FNAF 1 location. After this, a 2nd star is added to the main menu, and the player unlocks the custom night, wherein you can select the difficulty of 10 of the 11 animatronics, save for the puppets since you are still required to have it there so you can keep using the monitor as opposed to just sitting there with the mask on until the night ends. While the scale is still 0 to 20, FNAF 2 introduces custom night challenges, wherein you can partake in one of 10 preset challenges, with the reward being a plushie or figurine that will sit on your desk as you play at any of the nights. Of course, the ultimate challenge is every animatronic set to 20, or as the preset challenge calls it, Golden Freddy mode. Upon completion of this grueling night, the player will have a 3rd and final star added to the main menu, signifying 100% completion and mastery of the game, as well as a Golden Freddy plushie that sits on your desk. But regardless if you play with no animatronics or with them in one of the presets, the ending is the same. Here it is revealed that we are playing as a different security guard, Fritz Smith, which makes sense since Jeremy got moved to day shift, making this the first FNAF game with the player playing as more than one character. And it is revealed that Fritz got fired on his first day on the job for tampering with the animatronics and odor, a nod to the first game's ending. Other than that, that's the story on the surface level. Now for the kicker, the in-between night cutscenes and the Death Minigames. Yay! Before starting up the game and between each night, we get to see the FNAF 1 location from Freddy's point of view. Although we can only look left and right to see Chica and Bonnie respectively, it progressively gets creepier and creepier with each cutscene, as the ambience intensifies and the two of them looking at Freddy, revealing dark shadows where their eyes and mouths are, before we see Golden Freddy in his FNAF 1 form and the puppet. Now for the Death Minigames. As their name implies, there are minigames that have a small chance of appearing should you die, and while you can't win them, their main purpose is to tell the story behind the scenes. There are a total of 4 minigames that will appear at random, so let's discuss each of them. The first one is called Take Cake to the Children, where you play as Freddy giving cake to 6 children in a Freddy's location, 3 kids on each side. If a kid is red, they need cake, and if they're green, they're satisfied. While simple enough, the story of the minigame takes place outside of the restaurant, as a kid is seen crying rivers of tears before a purple guard pulls up behind them and out steps...
Purple Guy!
That's right, the purple man himself emerges from the car and kills the child as their eyes and tear lines get bigger before they become grayed out, symbolizing their death. As this is happening, Freddy progressively gets slower and slower. The kids turn red, and as the car drives away, the puppet attacks, ending the minigame, representing that this minigame explains the origin of the puppet. It is worth mentioning that throughout the duration of this entire minigame, letters are called out in a robotic voice, spelling out the phrase, "Save him," another tactic Scott brings up in another minigame, as well as in the movie. The second one is called Go Go Go, wherein we assume the role of Foxy, and our job is to head out of Pirate's Cove to surprise a group of kids who celebrate your arrival. While the first 2 rounds go swimmingly, in the 3rd round, Purple Guy is shown standing outside Pirate's Cove with a smile on his face, and upon entering the room with the kids, they are all dead. The minigame ends with Foxy's jump scare. The 3rd minigame is called Give Gifts, Give Life, wherein we get to play as the puppet, and we give 4 dead kids gift boxes, followed by us putting animatronic heads on them: Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. The minigame ends with Golden Freddy's jump scare. But if you pay attention at the last frame, a 5th body is shown in the center, which implies that this victim ended up becoming Golden Freddy. This minigame painted the picture of the puppet wanting to help the victims of Purple Guy by making their souls possess the animatronics, so that they could get their revenge. This would only be the start that proves the puppet isn't so bad after all. Last, but certainly not the least, we have Save Them, wherein as Freddy, we followed the puppet through the FNAF 2 location, and we can see dead bodies around the restaurant. And while we can follow the puppet, we can also go our own way, and we can see Mangle roaming about, as well as 2 other ways we can crash the game. Touching Golden Freddy slumped over in a corner, or running into Purple Guy himself. But there's a small chance of that happening. As this is happening, the phrase "save them" is spelled out in that same robotic voice as the Take Cake to the Children minigame. And by coming into contact with Purple Guy, the words "you can't" are shown in the top left-hand corner of the screen. Save them? You can't. We'll delve into more of this in the story section of this video. While nowadays this Atari-style way of storytelling has become synonymous with the FNAF series to the point where it is used in the movie intro, this was groundbreaking for 2014. No other game had attempted to tell a story like this until now, so this was something truly special. But in any case, following this game, FNAF 3 will be announced, as Scott's website will change to say offline, followed by, until next time.
I hope you die in